I personally don't give a shit if this video is not shown publicly on YouTube or not, because I've had a whole can of worms involved in my streams when it comes to dealing with YouTube and its bullshit. But enough about that. To be honest, I'm getting fucking sick and tired of these goddamn stories involving Charles fucking Kirk. I'm getting fucking sick of it. You wanna know why? Because apparently the fucking maggots or maggots or whatever you want to call these fucking, idiots that support the fucking Cheeto stain idiot and his administration. I'm getting fucking tired of these ass clowns just covering up the goddamn truth that we're supposed to be dealing with other fucking stories, and that we have to pay attention to this one fucking dumbass right-wing influencer, and I'm getting fucking tired of it. Oh, he's dead. He's this. It's boo fucking who. Boo fucking who. The guy got shot, okay? Maybe if he wasn't such a piece of shit like he was presented, then this would be a fucking issue. Because here's the thing. The guy got shot to death, and, the fucking maggots themselves, like everyone's crying a fucking river and getting all pissy and getting all fucking mad because this one fucking dude got shot to death, deservingly. And I don't care if YouTube's algorithm blocks this fucking video because I'm saying all this stuff and I'm cursing my head out. I don't care. I'm venting because I'm getting fucking tired of seeing these dumb fucking stories. Like, for example, this one involving Jimmy Kimmel. ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely following comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. We're not going to call him Charlie Kirk. No, that's giving the guy too much respect. We're going to call him Charles Kirk because that's what the motherfucker should be called. He should be called Charles Kirk. Trump's FCC chair, Brent Carr, earlier appeared on MAGA propagandist Ben Johnson's show and threatened to revoke ABC and Disney's broadcast licenses if they didn't take action against Kimmel. And I'm getting fucking sick of it, man. I'm just getting fucking sick and tired of these goddamn stories involving Charles Kirk. You want to know one story that's been well, there's been several stories that's been overshadowed by this one fucking dumbass right-wing influencer that everyone, including their own mother and brother, wants to, constantly discuss. Include myself because, I'm just fucking sick of it. The Delta State University with that one African-American person or student that just got hung by a tree. South Koreans being treated like fucking dogs, and Trump apologizing, quote unquote. You see all these stories here, and you hear nothing about them, but you hear this fucking shit with fucking Charles Kirk, because, God forbid the guy is a goddamn fucking god, and the guy is a goddamn fucking Gandhi, and, the white supremacist version of fucking MLK, man. I'm tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it. Oh, and this one right here, where our wonderful senator from the state of Alabama, Katie Britt, says, "Oh, if you celebrate Charles Kirk being assassinated, you should be fired." Fuck off, Katie. Fuck off. You and buttfucker Billy, aka goddamn JD Vance, you people are the absolute pinnacle of what is wrong with our fucking country right now. Because you seriously made our country into an absolute fucking, lowering IQ dog shit type of dumpster fire that it is right now. It's absolutely sickening, and I'm fucking tired of it. I really am. Like, frickin' Charles Kirk is not a martyr for peace. He's not a martyr for, everything else. Can we stop treating the guy like he's fucking Gandhi and shut the fuck up about him? That's all I gotta say about it. Can we, as, folks, shut the fuck up about Charles fucking Kirk and stop praising the fucking guy, because here's the thing, like, he's supposed to be Rush fucking Limbaugh, but here's the thing, Rush Limbaugh was never had fucking, a Cheeto-stained idiot or whoever type of administration tell folks to lower their goddamn flags because of, him. It's just, I'm so goddamn tired of it, man. I really am. It's like, oh, well, let's have a goddamn parade for fucking Charles Kirk because he's such a great influencer. And to be honest, I don't care if this video on YouTube gets, blocked because I'm speaking the truth about it, or, you know, I'm not getting that many views. I'm absolutely fucking tired of these idiots, including the Cheeto-stained idiot, and people like fucking buttfucker Billy here, JD Vance, you know, just treating this guy like a goddamn god. He was never a god. He was a terrible fucking human being, and you wonder why people celebrate his death, because the dude was a piece of shit. Okay, the dude was a piece of shit. And for them to say, oh, well, we want you to lose your job. And then you wonder why the job rate is in the shithole, man. Because of stupid fucking shit like this. I could say this is Juniorfan out and please love and respect each other. But no, fuck these idiots. They all don't deserve love and respect. They all deserve to go to fucking hell for all I care. And that's all I gotta say about it. Good night. Alright, so since YouTube decided to disable the comments from the previous video I did on RFK Jr., because apparently they didn't like me showcasing kids from an old 2008 commercial because of their frickin' rules and policies or whatever, I'm gonna say this right now. I hope that RFK Jr. goes out and starts with a K and ends with an L with a 4-letter word and does that to himself. And before I get told, oh, but Josh, why would you wish death on the RFK Jr.? I'll tell you why. For one thing, like I mentioned when it came to the previous upload to what I'm doing here, this motherfucker treats autism like a goddamn fucking disease. He treats it like a goddamn fucking disease when autism itself is not, and I repeat, is not a disease. It is not a pandemic. It is a neurological disorder. And I'm personally sick and tired of seeing this motherfucker who has basically ruined, and I mean ruined, the JFK and RFK legacy. This motherfucker, Robert Francis Kennedy Jr., should be fucking burned alive no matter what. And I mentioned this, that his comments are the equivalent of that 2008 Autism Speaks commercial. It is the equivalent of that fucking commercial with selfish frickin' parents that claim that, oh, well, it's autism's fault that my child is like that. No, it's not. It's genetics. It's frickin' genetics. Whether you want to agree with it or not, there is no fucking vaccines that can cure autism. There's nothing like that. And also, I didn't like what this motherfucker has said when it came to the Special Olympics, calling all the participants retarded. Motherfucker, I know, and I mean I know someone that is part of the Special Olympics. I know that they not only take care of themselves, but they also take care of a roommate. And it's someone that I collabed with in the past, and I met up for about a week to a week and a half, personally. And she is a really, really nice person. And guess what? She participates for Special Olympics where she is located. So I don't want to hear this fucking bullshit that you say when it comes to using the goddamn R slur for anybody that is with Special Olympics. I don't give a shit. Personally, people like you make me sick when it comes to Autism Acceptance Month. Saying, oh, well, if you're autistic, or you have autism, as I call it, because I make it sound like it's a fucking disease. Oh, I'll go ahead and say that you're not financially stable. You can't hold a job. You can't date. You can't do this. You can't do that. Shut the fuck up, you ableist piece of dog shit. Shut the fuck up with your goddamn ableism. Just shut up. You make me fucking sick. As an autistic person, you are as someone who is autistic, you are a goddamn fucking disgrace. You, that fucking Cheeto-stained idiot, and South African Seto Kaiba, and frickin' buttfucker Billy, aka JD Vance. You all are ruining this goddamn fucking country. You stupid ableist quack job from what you're seeing from the picture I frickin' made. Good God. Anyway, folks, this is Juniorfan out, and please love and respect each other, except RFK Jr., as he can go fuck himself. I wish all my neurodivergents a wonderful Autism Acceptance Month and an Autism Acceptance Year. Thank you. And for the Special Olympics, folks, keep on doing what you're doing because I know that you all enjoy the sport that it is. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Juniorfan, and today I'm going to be doing a rant on a topic that has gotten quite a lot of concern, especially since once again the term Pride Month will be questioned as to what it actually means, since the right-wing a-hole conservatives want to keep changing it, and Pride Month continues to be turned into a corporatized joke with multi-billion-dollar corporations showcasing one month where the Pride Progress flags and rainbows are shoved down mine and other people's throats on product placement without giving two shits about the LGBTQIA plus group. We will save that for the next rant, as we have something a lot more important to discuss, as we will be discussing the oppression of drag performers, or commonly known as drag queens, and trans individuals, including non-binary individuals, or individuals that do not wish to be associated with any gender and prefer to use the pronouns they/them. Now, for this rant, I'm only going to discuss the bills the state of Alabama will be trying to implement via its sponsors that want these bills passed, but I'm pretty sure most of the states, with the exception of Tennessee, that are attempting to oppress drag performers and trans/non-binary individuals are attempting almost identical bills that the sponsors for the state of Alabama are doing. Also, the state of Alabama is where I live, and it is where I will protest this upcoming Sunday on the 14th of May 2023, which may or may not be done after the recording and upload of this rant. Before I discuss what the transphobic dickheaded sponsors in the state of Alabama have made, let's take a look at what the state of Tennessee and their transphobic piece of shit governor Bill Lee has done for drag performers when seeing this present in Nashville and the state of Tennessee via the Tennessee Capitol building. As you can tell by me calling Bill Lee a transphobe and the transphobic sponsors that ratify such bigotry, the state of Tennessee was the first state to ban drag shows in front of minors. Now, Senate Bill 3 from the state of Tennessee describes and broadly defines these performances, quote-unquote, topless dancers, go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, male or female impersonators who provide entertainment that appeals to a prurient interest or similar entertainers. So, in other words, and that was the end of the quote, by the way, you are going to assume that quote-unquote male or female impersonators or the drag performers are on the same category as topless dancers, exotic dancers, and strippers. And my question is, why? How are the drag performers in the same category as what we discuss when it comes to being quote-unquote obscene? The drag performers, at least most of them, are not showing that much of the censored areas when it comes to what they wear compared to strippers, exotic dancers, and especially topless dancers. And the prurient interest, quote-unquote, or having/encouraging an excessive interest in sexual matters are and continues to be non-existent for when drag queens were and are continuing to be in front of children when in schools, libraries, and other places that allow them to read and be around minors. In fact, you see no sexual activity or seeing something sexually related going on with these performers in front of minors because, believe me, if that happened, expect to see them registered as a sex offender in the sex offender registry sooner than later. Which again, drag performers will absolutely have no intention to do for what I just mentioned when it comes to sexual activities. In fact, you want to know what's more offensive to see in front of children than drag performers reading to minors, especially in Tennessee from 2022 and 2023? Murders, muggings, and homicides happening in one of the big murder capitals of the U.S. in a little city called Memphis. Mass shootings, people being drunk on Broadway while going to and coming out of Tootsie's, Crossroads, and Bridgestone Arena, and people getting drunk and acting like complete asses in pedal cars from Tennessee's capital, Nashville, and seeing fights happen between Alabama and Vols fans from Neyland Stadium during a college football game over in East Tennessee and Knoxville. There, I showcase more offensive material to showcase your kids than what you Bible-thumping conservative dickwads think are prurient to drag performers. Your turn, Bill Lee. Also, when it comes to this law that the state of Tennessee has made to oppress the drag performers in front of minors, it can be classified as a Class A misdemeanor for the first offense for up to 1 year in jail and up to $2,500 in fines. And continuous offenses for the drag performers being in the presence of the minors can be classified as a Class E felony with 6 years in prison and up to $3,000 in fines. See, the state of Tennessee, when it comes to its corrupt piece of shit government, thinks it's okay to go after individuals that they perceive as quote-unquote sinful in front of minors due to its back-asswards laws, but they don't do a goddamn thing when it comes to mass shootings that happen in their state and especially their capital, as unfortunately, this will be the continuous case due to the absolute ignorance of the state government and a lot of states, not just Tennessee. Now let's talk about Alabama, and what absolute BS the bigoted sponsors pulled out of their fat asses with laws to oppress the drag performers and trans/non-binary individuals. Now, let's talk about the state of Alabama and what these bigoted sponsors have exercised for quote-unquote laws that they thought due to complete Bible-thumping and absolute Sunday Christianized mindset. And these 6 bills are the following. Well, there's technically 5, but we'll talk that in a bit. House Bill 405, What is a Woman Act? House Bill 401, Drag Ban. House Bill 354, Don't Say Gay Bill. House Bill 312, Divisive Concept Bill. House Bill 7, Divisive Concept Bill, as yes, it is the same House Bill but in 2 parts. And House Bill 261, Anti-Trans Athlete Bill. Let's briefly discuss the first half of House Bill 261, Anti-Trans Athlete Bill, when it comes to talking about trans females competing in ladies' sports, as it is quite a gray topic and area that can lead to quite a lot of toxic comments and arguments that I want to barely step my foot in a burning pool of hot lava and hopefully not get burned by just being neutral while just talking about that part of the alleged bill. But remember to keep the comments as civil as possible, as we don't need to showcase toxic and hate in the comments section, as there is way too much of that going on in this world, especially right now. Anyway, House Bill 261 says the following, and I quote, relating to the 2- and 4-year public institutions of higher education to prohibit a biological male from participating on an athletic team or sport designated for females, to prohibit a biological female from participating on an athletic team or sport designated for males, and I quote. So, in other words, requiring all athletes to participate on a team that aligns with their sex assigned at birth. Now, I will say the trans female part of the bill is very debatable to discuss, as many of the sponsors are not aware and or don't care of the whole HRT or hormone replacement therapy, as the Olympic Committee has done for making sure that the trans female do not have a biological advantage on cis females or a person, in this case a female, whose gender aligns with the sex they were assigned at birth. However, we will leave that topic alone, as people can discuss that in the comments and have a grand old time. The part that got to me would be the second part of this bill, where a female cannot join in a male sport. And my question to these brain-dead sponsors who want to pass this bill, are you aware that females have been in male-only sports, both from a fictional and non-fictional standpoint? The biggest example I can think of, a college female athlete that competed in a male-only sport, is when Vanderbilt University played the University of Missouri back on November 2020 in a Southeastern Conference football game, as Vandy brought in a female kicker named Sarah Fuller, who played against the Mizzou Tigers during the Thanksgiving weekend game, as she was the first female to play in an American college football game. Sarah Fuller also became the first female to score points in a Power 5 conference football game, as she scored points on the University of Tennessee via a field goal at Neyland Stadium the next week. Also, you want to talk about females competing against men for sports dominated by masculinity? Look at auto racing, for example. The most noteworthy example would be Danica Patrick. While I personally didn't care for Danica Patrick as a person, you have to admire what she has done in motorsports, as she has done quite a lot of success in the IndyCar series, as she won 3 poles, won a race in Japan back in 2008, while finishing in the top 10 in the final driver's point standings 7 times for that series against men who dominated the sport. Also, she has had some success in the NASCAR's Top 2 Series, winning a pole for the 2013 Daytona 500 in NASCAR's Top Series. Also, there are movie franchises such as The Mighty Ducks and Little Giants portraying girls playing really well against boys. And while those films are indeed fiction, it gives a notion that females can compete with males, as that part of the bill is very sexist, whether the sponsors of that bill want to admit it or not. Speaking of women, let's talk about the next bill. House Bill 405, What is a Woman Act? Oh boy. The next House bill these ignorant sponsors want to shove against everyone would be House Bill 405, What is a Woman Act? This bill mentions, quote unquote, this bill would create the What is a Woman Act, quote unquote, for what is a woman, and provide legislative findings relating to the distinctions between men and women. This bill would also delete obsolete and unnecessary definitions. Yeah, we're gonna have fun discussing this part of the bill, aren't we? Ugh. So, in other words for this bill, it defines sex as strictly biological, quote unquote. They do not honor it as cis. And erases trans, intersex, and non-binary identities. It also further enforces binary spaces or men and women's spaces in schools, shelters, prisons, bathrooms, locker rooms, etc. So, here is quite possibly one of the dumbest bills to exist, as unfortunately the state of Arkansas and their corrupt piece of shit government decides to have their taxpayers waste state and city taxpayer money for police officers to arrest someone for the whole bathroom ban in their state, where a trans female cannot go into a female bathroom, and same thing with a trans male using a male bathroom. Oh my god. Why I find this bill lower my IQ and finding very infuriating the most is because we have had trans individuals since at least the 1960s to use a bathroom of the opposite sex, and no one had a fucking issue with that, and more than likely continued using bathrooms of their opposite sex to this day. But when North Carolina became a state to promote such bigotry back in 2015 to attempt to ban transgenders to use a bathroom opposite to their given sex at birth, which unfortunately they did it the same year. Then you had every frickin' Karen and Kevin crying wolf over trans individuals being pedophiles because they're afraid they might do something quite nasty, for a lack of a better fucking term, to their children, even though they are allowed to go into the place with children in the said public place, that they are not registered sex offenders, like what I mentioned earlier for talking about drag performers in Tennessee. Also, I don't appreciate the bill that has trans, intersex, and non-binary to be terms that need to be eliminated, as the whole point of the term trans, intersex, and non-binary are because the individual was not happy with the gender they were given at birth for various personal reasons, which again is opposing and making the letters of T, I, and A in meaning of LGBTQIA+ mean less and less. This topic involving the whole transgender bathroom episode back in 2015 was something I was neutral about. And now in 2023, it is seriously the stupidest fucking moment to any of these bills, and I don't want to discuss this anymore, as I'm afraid I'm going to pass out in a coma from excessive amount of high blood pressure due to how much that topic absolutely infuriates me as a human being. So let's talk about another shitty bill, shall we? The next bill that I will be discussing briefly, as I mentioned most of it earlier, would be House Bill 401, Drag Ban. The bill states, and I quote, "This bill amends an existing law and labels drag as obscene, quote-unquote, and harmful to minors. Therefore, adults only, quote-unquote, entertainment not to be purveyed by those ages 18 and under in schools, libraries, restaurants, parks, pride parades, and any public spaces where children are present." Now, I discussed this to why this bill is dumb earlier when I talked about Tennessee being the first state to ban drag performers to be in the presence of minors. But seeing that they do this in parks and pride parades in the presence of minors is like taking a major actor on a blockbuster film and removing them entirely, as the drag performers are an essential part to what makes the pride parades what they are, as to add flair to those venues, as yes, there are pride festivals that happen in public parks. Also, it seems like it is okay for dads to take 10-year-old Jimmy to Hooters in Twin Peaks, where the waitresses wear revealing clothing such as sleeveless tank tops and short shorts, with restaurants showcasing sexuality in their name via a lady's bosom. But it is not okay for parents to take little Susie and Timmy to a restaurant that has drag performers in a restaurant, maybe sitting down to get something to eat. Again, I don't have to tell you how much of a double standard this is and why it defines hypocrisy with these bills. To the deadbeat lawmakers, I guess watching something like RuPaul, Looney Tunes with Daffy Duck, Bugs, Elmer Fudd, and other characters dressed in drag for slapstick moments, from the classic Looney Tunes shorts to the modern ones, Mrs. Doubtfire, where the late Robin Williams portrayed Mrs. Doubtfire in drag, Hanna-Barbera cartoons such as the Flintstones and Jetsons, where male characters are in drag, Blue's Clues with the Pride Parade song with a singing and dancing drag queen, Ash Ketchum dressed as a girl, to enter Celadon City's gym to battle Gym Leader Erica in the anime, and loads of other films, TV shows, cartoons, and media that showcase drag is okay. But in the presence of minors, it's not. Do you see how fucking stupid you all sound for making and contemplating these half-ass laws? Yeah, sure, why not? Moving on to the last bill. Whoop-de-fucking-do. The last bill that is being sponsored by these limbotic politicians is actually a two-parter. It's House Bill 312 and House Bill 7, which revolve around the term divisive concepts, as it is called the Divisive Concept Bill. House Bill 7 portion of this alleged bill states the following, and I quote, "This bill would prohibit certain public entities, including state agencies, local boards, from promoting or endorsing or requiring affirmation of certain divisive concepts relating to race, sex, or religion." End quote. This bill would erase history as we know it and prevent honest conversation about racism, bias, privilege, homophobia, and transphobia. What was explained was self-explanatory, but House Bill 7 is the most serious of these bills, as it would be subject to Jim Crow-era discrimination in 2023. Yeah, imagine getting your head wrapped around that. Which is going to lead to a lot of unrest for the state of Alabama, that you are going to make such offenses like racism, transphobia, homophobia, and sexism be quite prevalent again, and make hate acceptable, as the US and the world has changed since the 1950s, where we as a society in the Western world, except for big brother government and corporations, have mostly shown a lot more of the openness for individuals with different sexes, religions, and races, and we have been open to individuals with same-sex partners, open to asexual individuals, open to intersexual partners, open to having a partner with a different ethnic background and born in a different country, and open to having partners with two different religious beliefs. With this alleged bill being showcased on here for freedom of speech and freedom of religion, while it is still definitely here in the federal level, mentioning anything involving transphobia, homophobia, racism, and any other forms of hate means you might serve jail time for simply talking about hate in a negative light, which showcases a lot of fascism for speaking out against the hate. The alleged part of the bill will be the biggest oppression for trans individuals, non-binary individuals, drag performers, and anybody that is part of the LGBTQIA+. So let's talk about the second part of the Divisive Concept Bill, or House Bill 312, before giving my final thoughts on all these bills. House Bill 312 would prohibit training and education of divisive concepts related to race, sex, or religion in kindergarten through 12th grade, as well as public institutions of higher education allow educators to be disciplined or terminated for discussing these topics. House Bill 312 is the same as the very important House Bill 7 involving divisive concepts, except if you, as an American history teacher, talk about Civil War history and the history of slavery when it comes to the Underground Railroad, talk about the Ku Klux Klan even briefly, events involving discrimination in the South back in the 1950s and 1960s that shaped the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and Martin Luther King Jr., then you could get reprimanded or even having your teaching job terminated. Same with sex education courses, as those can be eliminated from a public curriculum due to mentioning the horny adolescents that may want to have sex with a person when they get older, even though they can always talk to their parents or look it up on the web or mobile devices. So yes, this bill is extraordinarily unconstitutionally and galactically stupid, as children need to learn what happened in Selma during the 1950s, who Martin Luther King is, and understand that slavery was one of the biggest factors when it comes to the start of the American Civil War, as Alabama itself is known for a lot of what happened when it comes to MLK, as he was sent to prison in Birmingham. MLK doing freedom marches in Selma and Montgomery. Rosa Parks refusing to sit in the back of the bus in Montgomery in December 1955. Tuskegee Airmen, Jesse Owens, George Washington Carver. And Alabama was a definite part of the American Civil War and the Underground Railroad. Children can also see all the history I mentioned involving racism through the internet, streaming services / cable, and films, as once again the sponsors of these bills don't realize what they are doing and don't care about the old phrase, if you don't learn history, you are doomed to repeat it, which is going to happen if not has happened already. Now time for my final thoughts on these 5 alleged bills. Overall, these 5 bills that these bigoted sponsors have showcased for the state of Alabama prove that they want to not only oppress drag performers, trans individuals, non-binary individuals, and the majority of the LGBTQIA+, but oppresses a lot of Alabama history that made the state what is essentially for African Americans that have shaped the foundation to what the state of Alabama has become. If any of these bills are passed, expect to see a lot of unrest because the conservative right-wing assholes running in the state of Alabama want a society that looks like a quote-unquote perfect 1950s society that looked like from the sitcoms of Ozzie and Harriet and Leave It a Beaver, when Pleasantville slapped the stereotype quite a bit with Tobey Maguire and the late Don Knotts back 25 years ago. These laws are ridiculous, abnormally brain dead, and are filled with so much toxic hate and oppression against certain groups except the Caucasians and straights that these laws do not need to exist at all, as you are removing people their choice to decide what makes them happy. Also, one more thing to mention in this as a side of stereotypical comedy before I am done with this rant. Apparently, the sponsors seeing cousins kissing and having a relationship with each other, just like Haruka Tenno and Michiru Kaio from the Deke and Cloverway dubs of Sailor Moon, is a lot more okay than seeing trans individuals using a cisgender bathroom. That is all I have to say about this, as I want to see everyone happy, and I hope these sponsored bills, while it is a long shot, I want to see them be denied in the state senate. This is Juniorfan out, and please love and respect each other. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Juniorfan, and happy Pride Month, or let's just say a good month to make sure that we defend the LGBTQIA+ community. Because I feel like this month is a good month and a good starting point to defend the LGBTQIA+. And I'm saying a good starting point because we should be defending and we should be supporting the LGBTQIA+ community no matter what. Like, we should be doing it all year, not just in 1 month. And the reason why I say it's a starting point is because of what's been going on recently in the news, especially the past week. So let me go over the scenes and show you all what's been going on here. So, unfortunately, the King of the Hill voice actor, Jonathan Joss, who played John Redcorn, unfortunately got shot a few days ago, back on June 1st. Yes, the very beginning of Pride Month, he got shot by a certain individual. This certain individual by the name of Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez. This motherfucker is a hateful, homophobic, toxic individual that should not deserve a fucking $200,000 bond or deserve any type of bond whatsoever. Because this guy is an absolute hateful piece of garbage. Because here's the thing, if someone had like $20,000 of cash on them right now, they could instantly bond out this piece of garbage here, and he can commit more hate crimes when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus community. Not just the gay community, but the LGBTQIA plus community. And Jonathan Gonzalez, that guy had a same-sex partner, and he was considered legally gay. Like, he was considered legally gay. And this motherfucker just shot him, and it's like what the hell, dude? Like, you don't deserve a bond, you deserve frickin' life in prison, or better yet, you deserve to be executed, because people like you don't deserve to live in this world that we're in. You seriously don't deserve to live in this world that we're in. Speaking of like trans individuals and getting hateful rhetoric and getting hateful, messages amongst what was going on. So we see this girl by the name of Charlotte Fosgate, who was a trans teen that unfortunately got bullied on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call the site that frickin' South African Soto Kaiba is associated with as far as being their CEO. So you have this teen that basically killed herself close to Portland, Oregon. That killed close to Portland, Oregon. That unfortunately killed herself because all the bullying that she was sustaining when it came to folks that were associated with X. God damn it, fucking bullshit. So yeah, she went ahead and killed herself because of all the bullying that was associated with like frickin' right-wing individuals that say, oh, well, we hate this person because they're a frickin', transgender individual. They're a tranny. They're a transvestite. And people still use that word, and it's like, yeah, thanks for using that terminology. Congratulations. Even though that term has been outdated for quite a while now, that's great. Thanks a lot. But it's like they seriously use those type of terms and considered her a not woman, quote unquote, or a not female, or whatever type of hateful rhetoric or hateful terminology they want to associate with this person here. And it makes me sick because I feel sorry for her parents and I feel sorry for this girl here because of what happened. No one should have to deal with that type of hate going on, not just here in the U.S., but throughout the world. Even in countries that have like really strict laws and really conservative laws like frickin' Saudi Arabia and Egypt and other ones that, promote anti-LGBTQIA plus type of stuff because of the Muslim culture and stuff. Like, for real. Like, we should, promote and, shit, man, I'm trying to think here. Promote respect and promote, making sure these individuals have everything they need and to make sure that they, aren't getting like tons and tons of hate for what is going on with this world. In fact, a certain senator by the name of Tony Bixignato said this a few months ago when he was in the courtroom talking to, or excuse me, not the courtroom, but the in the Iowa State House. It seems like that he was talking about trans individuals and LGBTQIA plus individuals and how we should, that he promotes how hypocritical it is for them to go after those individuals when it comes to their Christian values. So I'm going to switch to display capture here, and we're going to watch this guy's video here, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President. The answer that we just got, I mean, is that going to be our answer as well? This is protecting women, children, and... I mean, are we not going to have a debate here on this issue? I mean, no one else wants to talk. We're talking about something critical here. people's lives. These people aren't downstairs because they got nothing else to do. Their life's on the line, and it should be taken serious, and I don't think you're taking it serious. You filed the bill, you knew what you were going to do, you all got in line, and here we go, the exact same procedure. In a low voice that we could hardly hear, Senator Schultz gives us opening remarks. When we file an amendment, we get the same answer that he closes opening remarks with. Do you got anything legitimate to talk about why you're screwing people in housing, and in employment, and in health care and everything else? Can we talk about it over there? A little bit? Tell me what you think. I think I raised this when I did a point. You hurt more people than I've ever seen in my political life, and you never speak about it. The only thing you can't wait to do is say the prayer in the morning. Follow what you say. We're talking about people in housing. Senator Blake's taking it serious, and you're not. Most of you aren't even paying attention. This isn't your average bill running through this chamber. You're hurting people. And Senator Schultz takes pride in it, in the fact that no other state has it, we got it. Well, that's what we ought to be proud of, is that we're on the cutting edge of human rights. But if they don't fit your cookie cutter, we don't want them living next to us, right, Senator Blake? Or we don't want them working next to us. What have they ever done to you? Most of you don't even know somebody who's transgender. You don't even know them, but you hate them. You have to hate them because you cannot do what you're doing today if you didn't. But we'll say a nice prayer to start the day. We always do. And then we proceed to violate people over and over and over again. All they want's their fair shake in life. They want to be like you. They want to live with you. Something wrong with that?
So that was Iowa Senator Tony Bigsignano. And let me just say, the guy is absolutely correct about what is going on here. Because, unfortunately, we have folks that basically violate when it comes to showing Christian values, and they basically bully poor individuals such as Charlotte Fosgate and other individuals into suicide. And it really fucking pisses me off, man. And before I get told, oh, but Josh, you know, you wish death on people you mention on Facebook, and it's like, yeah, I mentioned death on them, because let me just say that I'd rather have one individual be killed and be shot in the head and celebrate their life being dead than have like multiple individuals being oppressed when it comes to their human rights. And I feel it's absolutely fucking sickening when it comes to that. Because folks like my brother, man, here's the funny thing about my brother. Okay, we have a niece. We have a niece that's about 6 years younger than I am. And the funny thing about it is that she has a girlfriend, and they've been living with each other for quite a while. My brother, here's the funny thing about my brother. Like, he got on my fucking case when I was glad that Phil Robertson was dead. And let me tell you something about Phil Robertson. In case people didn't realize what was going on with A&E back a decade ago and what was going on with him, like back around 2013 or 2014, this guy spewed hateful rhetoric when it comes to homophobic stuff, man. He spewed hateful rhetoric when it comes to the gay individuals, man. Like, this guy wanted to shove Christian beliefs down our throat like it meant nothing, and say that the frickin' gay individuals, man, are, you know, whatever. But he was saying a lot of hateful rhetoric, man. And then same thing with Pat Robertson, why I was glad he was dead. and then mention him that I was glad that he was dead like a couple years ago, because the guy was a manipulator, man. He was a homophobic, hateful individual, and the guy manipulated a lot of folks when it comes to buying his frickin' like airplanes and his frickin' yachts or whatever, man. So that's why I defend people like this, man, because, you know, we need to have more acceptance when it comes to the world, and unfortunately, we don't have more acceptance when it comes to the world. We have to shove fucking Christian values like it means nothing. And yeah, my brother and I got really loud in the car, like, I think last week when he picked me up from work, and it's like, dude, like, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say when it comes to being happy that when it comes to being happy that people either get shot in the head, certain individuals get shot in the head, or, you know, certain people are dead. I'm gonna be happy about it. I'm gonna be glad that they're freaking dead. And if he has a problem with it, then so be it. I'd rather have, like, one toxic person being dead and what they were fucking spewing out of their mouth, man. I'd rather have that person dead than see, you know, like tens of thousands of people at least being oppressed when it comes to their certain beliefs. And let me just say, if I'm no better than that person, then I'm no better, according to my brother. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm here to, you know, promote, trying to do everything in my power to make sure that I am right when it comes to human rights and such. And my brother doesn't understand it, and my brother doesn't care, and he wants to say, oh, well, I hate politics, I hate this, I hate that. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. We may live in the same apartment, but shut the fuck up about it. And the funny thing is that you're saying this kind of shit when you have a niece that's gay. When you have a niece that's gay, for Christ's sakes. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. So, one last thing to mention is Paul Reubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. Now, Paul Reubens did play as Pee Wee Herman here, and he unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. And he didn't mention one thing when it comes to him being gay until this documentary, which is Pee Wee as himself, which is showcased on HBO Max right now. And it irritates me, man, that it's like because of the homophobia and stuff that he couldn't come out, man. And I look at it this way, it's because, oh, he masturbated in the theater and he's automatically a terrible, terrible person. And it's like, no, he's not. He made a mistake and that was it. Like, that's all I gotta say about it. It doesn't make him, you know, a terrible human being. It doesn't make him such. Like, yeah, it sucks that he masturbated in a theater, but we need to understand that we as humans make mistakes like that. You know, it's like, oh, well, he masturbated in theater, we're going to consider that part of a crime. And it's like, no. But essentially with Paul Reubens, man, you know, it's like he didn't want to come out because of all the homophobia and stuff like what we're seeing here. It's like Wolf spent 40 hours interviewing Reubens and was given access to the actor's large collection of photographs and video footage. The film includes a final message from Reubens recording the day before his death. He discusses his 1991 and 2002 arrests and the damage they did to his reputation, blaming homophobia for the tabloid fallout in both cases. So, it's because of what was going on, man, during that time, you know, between his masturbation case and what was going on in between, man, that, you know, he couldn't come out. And he was still probably afraid to come out, man. And I look at it this way. If you're bi or you're gay or you're trans, I support you 100%. I personally do, man. I support you coming out. It's best to come out, man, when you're alive than when you're dead. It's best to do that. Please understand that it's best to be yourself. It is best to, you know, come out as yourself. I may be straight, man. I may be straight, but I am a huge, huge LGBTQIA plus ally. I am here for you all. I've been here for you all, man, the past, like, 5 years or so, at least, when it comes to me talking about this on YouTube, man. Like, I have friends on Discord, man, that are trans. I have friends on Discord that are gay. I have a niece that's freaking gay, man. You all have my support no matter what. I don't give a shit what my brother says and that the fact that we live in the same apartment. I don't care when it comes to me wishing death on certain individuals you all have my support, man. You all have my support. And let me just say that what happened with frickin' John Joss Gonzalez, I said Vaquez, but John Joss Gonzalez and Charlotte Fosgate, man, this week, oh my god, man, it just really infuriates me, man, and it makes me almost want to cry, for Christ's sakes. It makes me almost want to cry in an emotional state. But let me just say that you all have my support no matter what. You all have my support no matter what, and that's all I gotta say about it. Because I support you for the individual that you are, and that's all I gotta say about it. That's the reason why at the end of my videos and the end of whatever works I do for streams, that's why I tell people to love and respect each other. Because that's what we need, like, right now, man. No matter what the frickin' Cheeto Stain idiot says, no matter what South African Seto Kaiba says, no matter what buttfucker Billy J.D. Vance has to say, we need to support each other. We need to make sure that our suicide rates are lowered when it comes to the LGBTQIA+. We need to make sure that hate, man, doesn't continue on a continuous in a continuous basis, and hopefully it goes in a downward spiral, man. And hopefully all this fascist ideology lowers itself quite a bit, because unfortunately, with what we're seeing right here, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. It really is. Jesus, man. Anyway, folks, this is Juniorfan out. And please love and respect each other. Thank you very much. Hey, Mom, look, I gotta show you something. Look. It's a lifeless prequel that Disney is going to milk the crap out of when it comes to money. Wow, thanks. I really want to see that, Disney. Good job, yeah. I'm not gonna waste my time or money seeing my childhood get completely molested again. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, this is Juniorfan. And I am here with an update. Well, I attempt to play one of the most broken games to exist for the Pokemon franchise, aka the first generation Pokemon games for the original Game Boy. What the fuck? Alright. So, yeah. Hello there, welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Oak. People call me the Pokemon Prof. But anyway, as I was mentioning, yeah, this is going to be an update, to what has been going on, the past few years or so. For one thing, I got me a new gaming PC. I finally got one because, unfortunately, what happened to the old gaming PC, the one that I had for my laptop, let's just say that I spilt Pepsi on my old laptop. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Alright, so I can spell with 7 letters. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna give our character an appropriate name, even though I'm not gonna play this for very long. But anyway, yeah, I spilled frickin' Pepsi on my old gaming laptop back in July of 2022, and it's the reason why the Mega Man X stream was the only stream I was able to do, and that was on Twitch. So, yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to really do much with the old laptop I had, because for one thing, the old laptop I had, it kept on randomly restarting. And you could tell it was old because I've had it, man, for, good God, 7 or 8 years now, and it just randomly kept on restarting. And then I managed to get me, a new laptop sometime around June of last year, June of 2024, with a 32-inch TV to go along with displaying the thing. And then I managed to finally get me a gaming PC, which I'm talking about a gaming desktop, not a laptop, with a 43-inch TV. So my display looks really freaking good because I can actually work two computers, at the same time with my laptop with the 32-inch TCL and my 43-inch, LG monitor that I have for the gaming PC, which the gaming PC itself, it's an Intel Core i7 that has like 32 gigabytes of RAM and 2 terabytes of SSD storage. So that's what I have for my gaming PC, and it's an Asus. So, and I think I did it. I think I got a pretty good deal on it. So I'm glad I finally got me like a gaming PC for my room, for my apartment. So I wanted to make this update to let you all know that I will be getting back to hopefully getting my YouTube channel, back to where I'm producing much more quality content, which I will be doing, more streams than anything, to be honest. The reason why I'm doing more streams is because I want to make sure that there is some activity going on my YouTube besides just me, making like random videos with my freaking cell phone and, being funny about it. Because I have to put some content in somewhere because I pulled pretty much all of my old commentaries from my channel because I didn't like the way YouTube was running their site back in like 2021, and it was like the big reason why I was afraid that my channel was going to be shut down because of the late Susan Wojcicki, convincing me, hey, because of what you were talking about with the whole Daniel Russ stuff, it's like, yeah, you use the R word and we can't allow that, and so, yeah, that's the reason why my old commentaries are no longer on my channel, and that's why they're on like various other channels for users that have uploaded. Anyway, I think we're going to choose Squirtle, right? No, that's Bulbasaur. Yeah, I'm choosing Squirtle because I'm playing Pokemon Blue, and believe it or not, Squirtle was freaking Charmander. Like, here's the thing with Pokemon Blue. It's like, guys, why not just have... Here's the thing. You put the Pokemon on the left side, put Bulbasaur on the left, and then put Squirtle on the right from what you're seeing. It's like, really? But anyway, as I mentioned, yeah, yeah, I didn't choose Squirtle. I gotta get used to this stuff, man. But, yeah, it's just... I went ahead and pulled all my old YouTube videos, with the exception of like 2 videos of my late mama's Yorkie Poo CJ on the thing on YouTube because of reasons. So I had to, because like I said, I was afraid that my channel was going to be, suspended or taken down entirely, and I didn't want that to happen because there was like a lot of people that I watch, like Geography Now, like Wonder Why, Real Life Lore. I watch like a lot of educational, content on my YouTube, and I didn't want that to get pulled. So, yes, like I mentioned, I'm going to be coming back on YouTube, and I will be making content, but I am not going to be uploading any more of re-uploading any of my old commentaries, and I'm not going to be making any more commentaries, because I've been retired from doing that for quite a while. It's going to be me mainly streaming, and it's going to be me mainly streaming games. Now, when it comes to my streaming schedule, it's going to be very sporadic, because right now I am working. I am working 5 days a week, and it's 5 hours a day.
but I am mainly working during the afternoon into the evening. So I may be tired when I get home. And I'm only off for 2 days a week, obviously. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, is making sure that, hey, I'm, to do streams whenever I feel like it, because I make no money from my YouTube channel. I make no money from the Twitch that I do, because I hardly did anything with my Twitch, because like I said, the last stream I did was Mega Man X, and that was nearly 3 years ago. So if I do make money, great. If I don't, then I don't. I want to treat it as a hobby, and that's the way it's going to be treated as. But yeah, I just want to make that update clear as possible. The first game I'm thinking about playing for my stream, which we're going back and talking about the laptop, is ironically going to be Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man is going to be the first, really Bulbasaur you had to use tackling to get off with a freaking critical hit. But yeah, it's just, I'm going to choose Pepsi Man for the first game that I play, and then I'm more than likely going to be playing like a bunch of maybe Pokemon games in a row. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'm going to be, doing some streams and going from there. Cool, I beat frickin' douchebag. I just called him douche, I think, right? Yeah. Donatello grew to level 6. Cool. Asshole defeated douche. What? Unbelievable! I picked the wrong Pokemon. Cool. Actually, you chose the right one. It's just your frickin' Bulbasaur doesn't have Vine Whip right now. I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Asshole Graham, smell you later. Cool. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. For my because I'm gonna do some more with live stream, because thank God I discovered OBS and everything else. Anyway, we gotta get frickin' Oak's parcel, by the way. We gotta get his parcel full of frickin' methamphetamines and drugs and, marijuana. And YouTube might ban me, and I gotta fight a frickin' rat here. I gotta fight a frickin' generic rat. Ugh. Take that, generic rat, you bastard. Take that, you dirty rat. And then shove cheese into the frickin' rat's mouth like what happened in that, frickin' Looney Tunes Tex Avery short back in the 30s. Oh, man. I'm not gonna stream too much longer or do this video too much longer, but I will be, like I said, I'm gonna be, doing pretty much mainly focusing on doing live streams. Mostly gaming, but I kind of want to do like a few things here and there, like, do some live streams of like logos. And yes, I was thinking about doing, videos of my personal opinion about certain logos, which I'm talking about like television, movie logos, and stuff like that, and go from there and make like some really descriptive, videos on why I like or dislike, certain logos, and go from there and make live streams of it. But I'm hoping and praying that I do indeed get like, a new headset, and I do get something like an editing software, particularly Vegas, even though it's not called Sony Vegas anymore. I think Magic owns Sony Vegas now, which is not called Sony Vegas, it's called Magic Vegas or something, or Vegas Studio, whatever it's called. But I'm gonna get, Sony Vegas, or we're just gonna call it Sony Vegas. We're just gonna get Sony Vegas, back on my gaming PC, be using that again. And like I mentioned, I had Sony Vegas on my old laptop, the one that kept on like crashing and kept on restarting. And like I said, that old laptop I had, which is 10 years old, by the way, now. It's an unreliable piece of garbage, and it's on its last legs, so I'm not going to be using that one anymore. But yeah, like I said, I will be doing some more live streams, and I'm hoping and praying to see y'all later. I'm glad I delivered Oak's methamphetamines and drugs and marijuana and everything else that he frickin' ordered, because apparently Dare doesn't exist in the Pokemon universe, especially the Kanto universe. But yeah, anyway, folks, this is Juniorfan out, and I will see y'all on the flip side. The Pepsi Man stream that I'll be doing for the PS1, it may come out. I may be doing it next week sometime. If I feel like it, maybe Tuesday is when I'll stream it on YouTube. So yeah, I will see y'all then, and take care and love and respect each other. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Juniorfan, and I'm here to make a follow-up to the story I made on Realm Wars' second part 5-hour video essay exposing Ed Prince Stairs, or better known as Spax 3, on what I did after October 2019 when I blocked him on Facebook. If anybody didn't see any of Realm's videos on Ed Prince Stairs, go give them a look or two, as they are definitely worth seeing, as Realm is a saint for making a combined 9 hours of content for Ed himself, his mother, his quote-unquote friends, and his former friends / current victims, exposing him for the inexcusable human garbage that Ed and his mother have been. The link to Realm's video will be in the description below the video, as they are extremely well done. Now, Realm did mention that I did call out Ed publicly in the second part video, and he is absolutely correct on that. However, there is more to this story, because if Realm was to talk about every bit of evidence that was present for Mr. Ed Prince Stairs, then everyone would have to be prepared to literally spend half a day marathoning his videos, and I don't think Realm would really want that, would he? Anyway, as I mentioned in my story, to give a Reader's Digest version of a Reader's Digest story, my experience with Ed Prince Stairs from February of 2008 until October 2019 wasn't as involved with him as, say, Dwayne, Lena, Ollie, the late Prince of Moose, Guardian Earth, Big Al, or any of the others, but I was still involved with his drama. The first time I recall Ed going after me on social media was in late 2021 on Twitter, when he ran his drunken mouth towards me, calling me an evil spurg, quote-unquote, threatening to kill myself, and apparently I used the F slur constantly, especially from a rant I did on him back in 2009, where I just name-called him the majority of the time, as that rant has not aged that well at all. Ugh. He did this because I called him out on Discord when Ed and I were invited in a Discord server coincidentally at almost the exact same time, and I claimed that he abused his mother. During the years of 2022 and 2023, I would make DeviantArt journals on Ed Prince Stairs to call him out on various topics going after certain people. And keep in mind, like Realm said in his video, I did this on my own accord. And no one asked me to go after Spax. Not Kenny, not Lena, not Dewey, not Ollie, but I, and I alone. I did this because I was personally really tired of him running his mouth on DeviantArt for various posts and crying about his mama drama on a website through journals he made. I made account after account with obvious usernames involved in the title of Juniorfan of the DeviantArt accounts to block evade him, to call him out on his bullshit, and to give him advice that he obviously never took. Was it the smartest decision for me to do that? No. But I felt someone needed to at least attempt to call out Ed for making yellow journalism on his journals. Yeah, people. See what I did there with that joke? And put him in his place. Now, keep in mind, I didn't call him out every time, as it would have been a lot more time wasted than what I originally did. But it had to be noted that I indeed block evaded Ed to call him out for whatever spewed out of his mouth and defaming people he should have never been running his mouth in the first place. Now, unfortunately, I did get my main DeviantArt account banned permanently for making obvious multiple accounts to block evade Ed. But to me, I am personally glad I did that, because someone needed to kick him right in the testicles verbally. Whether people want to claim I was unhinged, had balls to go after someone, really ignorant, or all of the above, the point was that I felt I was in the right for me to do that and go after Ed, as country music singer Aaron Tippett, via the lyrics to his song from the 90s, would sing, "You got to stand for something or you will fall for anything. You got to be your own man, not a puppet on the string." As that was the mindset I had for what I did for helping many of my internet friends, Ed ran his mouth and throwing a young child's temper tantrum towards his DeviantArt journals and his own mother about this crap. Speaking of his mother, let me give you all the explanation why I call Ed a XX Caillou, and it's a very simple explanation. The reason why I call him that is because Caillou from the 2D animated preschool show would be a whiny little brat for various reasons, as a lot of the time he would cry to his parents over some of the pettiest of circumstances, as thus the case when Ed would cry to his mommy for quote-unquote suing and presenting legal actions, end quote, against Ed, with people opposing him for various reasons, even if it was something really petty and ridiculous. Also, he would bring his mother in for arguments he was in against other people so he could use his mentally ill mother as a crutch to help quote-unquote fight his battles. Now, earlier I used quotation marks for quote-unquote suing and presenting legal actions, end quote, because Janelle lost her license to be a lawyer a bit ago, as thus was the reason for that. For someone who lost not only his mother nearly 7 years ago, but lost his biological father over 2 decades ago, this really aggravates me because it is very sad to see someone who is nearly 40 years old have to depend on mommy to fight his battles when I pretty much lived by myself for 10 months living in Nashville. From June of 2017 until April of 2018. Well, yes, I don't condone Janelle for coddling her son. Ed needs to man up, grow up, and stop sucking on his mama's titties because Janelle isn't going to be around forever. I believe this is all I have to say about this follow-up to my story involving Realm's second part video. Again, if others can, please check out Realm's videos on Spax 3 for part 1 and 2 in the description below this video, as they are definitely worth checking out the infinite rabbit hole on Ed's abysmal and complex content creating history. To Ed Prince Stairs and his alleged friends, if you all remove this confession video, I will keep re-uploading this specific content in various accounts until I get IP banned on YouTube, as you can kiss my fat ass for removing a video speaking out on an individual that needs to seriously be in a mental asylum and should have gotten arrested a while ago, as I don't appreciate the xenophobia, racism, transphobia, manipulation of others, hateful excuses, and other hateful rhetoric that this ignorant 40-year-old Caillou spews out of his mouth. I don't want anybody to go after Ed Prince Stairs, his alleged friends, his family like I did, as it is essentially a waste of time, as you are all talking to a brick wall and nothing else. This is going to be the absolute final time I discuss about Ed Prince Stairs in the public light, as everyone involved should move on with their lives, as what we accomplish now will be more significant than spending time dealing with malice, ignorance, and fear. This is Juniorfan out, and please love and respect each other. Thank you. Alright, hello everyone, this is Juniorfan, and I just want to make a quick update to let you all know that the Logo Night Episode 6, it's on Fox, VOD has been blocked because it has 4 copyright claims. So, I'm just letting you all know that it's blocked for reasons, and I will show you all here on my YouTube studio. Unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately, you cannot see the VOD like right now because it's got like 4 copyright claims. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Here's the details. So we have the 20th Century Fox fanfare that's been blocked. That claim doesn't restrict your video. In Her Shoes, the video can't be seen or monetized. Part 1 for the video. Predator, 20th Century Fox, this claim doesn't restrict your video at the moment. Twist of Fate, Remastered 2021, this claim doesn't restrict your video at the moment. So, unfortunately, because I guess I showed In Her Shoes Part 1 for the stream, that it's blocked. So, FYI to anybody that wants to check out my Logo Night streams, I would recommend seeing them the day that I stream it, or the night that I stream it, because it can be hit or miss when it comes to looking at the stream, to be honest, and the VOD, because you may miss it, you may not, it all depends on the copyright stuff, but I'm here to just give my personal opinion about the logos, and I'm here to just showcase, you know, my 2 cents about the logos, my 2 cents about the companies that make the logos, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's YouTube being YouTube, because they don't want to see what happened when it came to what happened to their site back in 2007/2008, when Viacom was trying to get a hold of YouTube and just strangle their frickin' necks. So, I'm just giving you all a FYI that if you see the videos, if you see the Logo Night episodes, and if you're interested in seeing them, please be available on the streams if possible, because this might be the only opportunity you might be able to see it. I could edit the video out, but to me it's like a waste of time, because I am here just to, you know, do the streams, and yeah, I've got like a full-time job, and I don't get paid any money for this. I mainly use the live stream as like a sort of hobby type of deal. So I'm just letting you all know that if you see like a Logo Night stream and you're interested in seeing the particular video, please be advised that please be advised to take advantage of trying to go into the stream as much as possible if you can. I mean, they're shorter streams than what I'm accustomed to. Well, more recently, they're about the same type of length because of the Sonic games. But I would advise to come onto the streams and just do what you can. Also, too, when it comes to editing the VODs as well, like, I may not know what part of the video it was located in. It says see details here, and it just showcases In Her Shoes from all these time frames right here. So I'd have to make sure to edit out all the parts of the frame right here, and here's my issue as well. Like, talking about here. They say In Her Shoes Part 1, and it's like, I don't understand what that means. Like, talking about here. Like, I don't know, man. It's so freaking weird. But it's like, I'd rather have the video be showcased, like, in its natural state than trying to edit it out when it comes to it being showcased on here, because I feel like if I have to edit all this stuff here, it would be kind of a pain. To be honest, it would be really kind of a pain, and I'd rather have my audience see the video in full, to be honest, instead of it being blocked and it being censored. Yeah, I could edit all this out here, but I refuse to do that, to be honest. So, and even if I uploaded this on Twitch and or did a live stream of this on Twitch, it would still be blocked. Like, it's not just a YouTube thing as well. It's basically any streaming service that you see on here, or any video uploading site. Like, it's whatever the frickin' company that makes the claim does for the live stream and the video you upload. Because they're greedy, they're corporations, you know. Unfortunately, it's how how garbage the world is when it comes to these corporations, unfortunately. So, again, it's YouTube being YouTube, and they don't want to PO a lot of the corporations and a lot of the companies that make these copyright claims. So I just wanted to let you all know about that, to be honest. So, but anyway, folks, this is Juniorfan. This is Juniorfan out, and please love and respect each other. Thank you very much. All right, hello everyone. This is Juniorfan, and I'm here to make an announcement. I made my own Discord server with some help from some friends here. So, which I had help from one of my friends named Roxy, and she helped with the Discord server. So the reason why I'm making this announcement here is because I will. I'm going to be starting to host like watch parties starting today more commonly on my server. So that way everyone else could have a nice place to interact with me during my hiatus from YouTube when it comes to doing the streams. As you can tell by the upper right part of the screen, today we're going to be watching RoboCop 1 and 2. RoboCop 1 and 2. I made the same mistake when I made the re-recorded that. No, RoboCop 2 and 3. Now, it may not be the best RoboCop movies to exist, but we're going to watch them on my server, because why not? Because we watched the first RoboCop movie on my server, and we'll be going on there and watching that, and Bugs Bunny's birthday bash, or Bugs Bunny's birthday celebration on MeTV Tunes tomorrow, and that'll be at like 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing at least the next 3 weeks on my server during the weekends. Is I'm going to be hosting watch parties and hopefully have some fun on the server. By the way, if anybody's coming onto the server, please be advised that you have to be at least 21, because there's a reason why it's called the Virgin Tavern. Because I'm associating this server with being a bar. So, FYI about that. So, but yeah, you have to be 21 in order to join the server. Anybody younger than that, it's no bonus. So, unfortunately. And keep in mind, too, I just want to make sure that I have, like, individuals that are mature enough to be on the server. Like, no offense to anybody that's under 21, but it's the way that I am, you know. Because I want to make sure that there's order going on the server. But for anybody that's going on to the server, please be advised of the rules that are presented there. But, yeah, the link will be in the description and in the comments section, which I will pin in the comments section for the links to the Discord server. And if anybody else needs, like, an invite for the server after they're expired, I will definitely send you all the links again. So, yeah. But, yeah, we're going to have watch parties starting today, watching RoboCop 2 and 3, and watching Bugs Bunny's birthday celebration tomorrow on my server. And probably doing some more watch parties, like I said, next weekend and the following weekend. Not sure what movies we're going to be watching, but we'll be watching something next weekend. I'll have like a little vote or something for folks to go in there and watch. But anyway, but that's what I'm doing, you know, during the hiatus. I'll be hanging out on my server and chillaxing until September 1st, when I'll come back to YouTube and start streaming again. But yeah, this is Juniorfan out. And please love and respect each other. Thank you very much. Giving up, little tadpole? Who is this fiend? Keep your guard up. There is no ordinary woman. Meet Flea, the magician. What the? Hey, I'm a guy. Yeah, don't assume his gender there, motherfucker. He's a femboy. What are you talking about? But it's the exterior but its exterior is that of... Oh my god, Robo, you... Look at this fucking shit. Robo just predicted the whole bathroom episodes involving political matters, man. He just predicted that, like, 20 years later. Oh my god, man. Robo, no. No, that's the reason why 2300 is such a desolate place, because you had to say shit like that. Oh my god, man. Oh my fucking god, Robo. Bad robot. Bad robot. Male? Female? What's the difference? Power is beautiful, and I got the power.